Can we become your dating coach? Welcome back to After Our Happy Hour. We are your chaotic but cathartic co-host. I'm Vicky.
I'm Jamila.
I'm Sharon.
So today we asked you guys for any dating advice you might want or any dating scenarios that you are in that we can probably comment on. And we will also be answering questions that we have about ourselves when it comes to dating. Don't know how that's going to go because we're all single and have been for a hot minute, so.
Disclaimer, please don't take our advice super seriously. Please take it with a grain of salt. So let's kick it off with a little bit, I guess, about our dating life or dating history.
Sure. I'm a hoe. I dated 5 people.
Thank you.
I've been in one serious relationship and then one serious non-relationship and then talked to like 2 people.
I've had 2 serious relationships and I've talked to 2 people.
Technically, Jam's dated the most in terms of like actually seeing people and dating to see if it progresses.
I've talked to the most people. At least to me, talking versus dating is a little different.
Okay, can we talk about that? What do you guys consider dating?
Dating to me is like you have established that you guys are only seeing each other and is yes have known each
But
other
not officially?
but not official. It's not a relationship. And you guys have passed that level of kind of strangers getting to know each other. You guys have a level of comfortness. And to me, talking is really just like you guys are getting to know each other like on the first, second, third date.
See, for me, dating is like you're officially together. Like, oh, we're dating.
So then everything else is just talking?
Yeah.
That works. I'm more on Jam's side.
Interesting. That's our dating history.
It's pretty boring. I don't know what.
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry.
Peeps.
No crazy stories. Not
not
us.
Yeah, we're boring.
No, we're just selective with who we date, okay, guys?
That's true.
Next question. What are some best questions to ask on a first date?
Vicky's been prepared for this one. Hit us with it, Vicky.
Well, the political side of me, the very first question is, did you vote? And then if you did, who did you vote for? Do you post Henny bottles on social media? I think that's a character trait. It says a lot about you. You're going to hit me with the, it's not you, it's me. I don't think I'm ready for a relationship. So that's a no from me. What music streaming platform do you use? If I share Spotify music with you and you can't open it, that's an issue. Next one, do you tape LED lights around the ceiling of your room? I don't know if I can do that. Do you write down your to-do list or do you just memorize them? Because you're psychotic if you memorize them.
Me and Vicky would never
Cannot
date. Never.
That's why we're friends and we're not coupled. It's fine. Yeah, those are the ones that I have that are very specific. What do
I
you
was
guys
going
have?
more of like getting to know them,
Oh.
like where are they from, what do you like to do?
Like
You know, I've actually never
siblings.
been on like a date,
Me
first
either.
date, don't know this person.
I have plenty of first dates.
What did you ask?
Well, first of all, most of the first dates came from online dating. So we got to know each other a little bit before we proceed to the first in-person meeting. So through those is usually, what do you do? If we're like in any orgs, maybe like we have like some mutual friends. And now it's more like, oh, what do you do for work? What do you like to do for fun? Music. I feel like music is a big one for me because it's just really easy for people to connect on artists and stuff. I think just like finding your common interests is the best way to get to know someone to kind of see, oh, are we gonna be compatible? Because it's like, oh, can we even do these things together?
Do you ever ask about deep stuff on the first date?
I don't, but that's because I'm not a person that likes to open up, so I don't want to be asked the same questions. Like I would ask, oh, do you have siblings or stuff like that, but I feel like I'm not a person that would try to open up a deeper conversation. Would you guys ask?
I'm not talking, oh, tell me about your traumatic experiences if you have any. I'm just talking like, let me get to know you a little bit more on your personal side.
I think the closest that I am to like first dates is like when you do one-on-ones in college. to like get to know your team or people who you're working with and stuff. And like the closest I could think of was there's one time I had like a 5 to 6 hour one-on-one. And it was like the first time where we hung out by ourselves and we just talked about like everything in our lives. Next one's a good one. What are top 3 reasons why someone should not date us?
Do we want to do it for each other?
Sure.
Let's do Jam first. That one's fun.
Jam will probably everything that you say in 1 year, out the other, and then she'll be like, "Do I look good?" Just kidding, but something along the lines of completely disregarding what you said.
Or if you even want to talk in the first place.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
You gotta be a quiet one if you want to date Jam.
Hey, I let the other person talk. I agree with all those. I mean, I don't agree that there are reasons why you should not date me, but I do agree those are things that could happen, and if you're not into that, then you should not date me.
Oh, if you're a neat freak, not Jam.
If you're a neat freak but does not care about if the other person is neat or not, then it's fine. But if you're a neat freak and try to make me a neat freak,
Don't date Jam.
Not a clean freak, a neat freak.
Yeah. If you like people who make their beds every morning, we're so incompatible. I'll make it, I swear.
Okay, and the last thing, if you don't enjoy drinking alcohol, not consistently, but just like having fun with alcohol, then you probably can't date Jam.
Yeah.
It's fine that you don't drink, but if you're like against it,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People who are against their significant other drinking.
yeah, sorry. I'm not like an alcoholic, but I just do enjoy a drinking night and going out and stuff.
Wow. Those are bad reasons to not date, but if there's top 3. Sharon?
Vicky just try to be avoiding.
I don't want you guys to roast me. Let's do Sharon.
If you're a person that wants Sharon to like speak her feelings to you, like you have no problem with showing maybe like physical wise, but if you want to say it,
Like me to them?
yeah.
I feel like in a relationship, Sharon would.
I would if it was with the right person. That just means I wasn't
Oh.
with the right person.
Oh,
Yeah, I could see Sharon being very head ass.
really?
A little bit.
I like to think I could, but I don't know because it's one, been a while. Two, it's not like I've thrown myself out there.
True. I was gonna say if you can't kill spiders, don't date Sharon.
That's your reason, Vicky. Thanks. I'm glad those are my reasons.
If you're messy, don't date Sharon.
If you're dirty, don't even come close to me.
Yeah.
Okay, but who want to date a dirty person?
Plenty of people are
You'd be
dirty.
surprised.
I guess me and Sharon wouldn't be compatible either.
I could do messy, just not dirty.
If you're overly extroverted, like constantly needs to go out and not be home. Yeah, that's all I got.
I have one for myself. If you don't have EQ, bye.
Vicky.
For Vicky, if you are an affectionate person, good luck.
Or if you're a person that needs affection and needs words of confirmation.
Affirmation. She
Affirmation.
said confirmation.
Close enough.
I think Vicky needs an independent man.
Yeah, like a man who might be busy like 2 days of the week.
You mean 4 days of the week?
Yes,
Even
that's why you
better.
date someone who's important because they need to think about their work.
She's saying I need them to prioritize everything but me.
Yes.
But just know that I
will do
am
the
on your
same
mind.
thing. I found it. I need a man with the job that's important and takes up his life.
Just date a finance person.
Finance people have issues.
So do you. Perfect.
but
Y'all
they have
cannot talk
temper
about your issues with each other. Just kidding.
That's so bad. Be the most problematic couple there is. Maybe the next relationship will help me.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, when you get into it, buddy.
I've only been single for less than a year, okay, Jamila? It's time for you two to get into it, okay?
You don't think I'm trying?
How do you cope with everyone dating around you?
You find friends who are also single for a really long time. And you start a podcast together, and all you have to think about is your podcast and your friendship and how everyone else just does not match up. And you're fine.
Okay, but in that situation, let's say all your friends were taken. One, I feel like if you were ready to date and willing to put yourself out there, I would suggest to do that.
Yeah.
Don't
that's true.
expect things to come to you. AKA, I'm telling this to myself too, so don't worry.
We've been telling you that for the past 3 years.
Yeah, but then the last 2 years, we've been in a global pandemic, so there's not much to do in the middle of nowhere
She's
here.
so wrong. Yeah, I feel like that's a big misconception. People is just like they wait for things to come to you, but dating don't work like that, especially nowadays when everyone's in their own little bubble. You have to put yourself out there. And a good advice from a TikToker that they said was like go to one place all the time, like become a regular at some place so that people recognize you and they're more likely to approach you if they see that you're a regular someplace.
So, Vicky, is that working out?
Nope.
And girls can make the first move, okay? Don't be
Yes.
afraid.
You a badass bitch. Make the first move.
So, let's now dive into some of the questions y'all sent us over Instagram.
First question, how do you keep yourself safe when meeting people from dating apps for the first time?
I feel like I'm the only person that could really speak to this.
That's why we're both looking at you.
I just keep my profile very basic. I don't put much details, maybe height or just as general vicinity, like San Francisco is where I'm from. Just keep your private information as private as possible. Only meet up the person if you guys have talked, I feel like enough, and you kind of have a sense of who he is as a person. And also after you guys maybe follow each other on social media, so you guys could get a sense of like how he or she is with, their friends
Yeah.
and stuff.
Tell someone that you're going on a date, like a friend or even a family member. And then if you have like iPhone or tracking stuff, you could share your location so that they know where you are. Meet in a public place, never private. Pepper spray.
Wow, Vicky's very well equipped in this.
I'm paranoid is what I am. I have a knife. I don't have a taser. I'm too scared because I tased myself before. I sat on one before.
How bad it hurt.
It didn't hurt. I was more shocked that it happened than it like hurting.
I was gonna say, trust your intuition. I feel like girls are relatively good at
Yes.
that. If you just get an unsure vibe, just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next question. How do you know if someone is ideal for you?
If they check all of your boxes, not society's standards boxes. Or if you're willing to work through the unchecked boxes with that person because they're worth it.
That's my mom's advice.
Aw, Vicky, I'm your mom.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yes, leader.
Okay.
Also, I believe in getting the butterfly feeling in your stomach when you're with someone. I feel like that's a good indication that it's just like, oh, they make you feel something.
I agree with butterflies. I mean, you might get them on the first few times and it just might be attraction and they're not your actual ideal type. But if you've been with them on a few dates or you actually talk to them for a while or even you guys are in a relationship and you still get butterflies, I feel like that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah. I've had moments, it's like very specific, but like we're driving somewhere and like they're doing their own thing and I'm just looking at them and I'm just like, damn, I'm dating you. That feeling is just like, oh, wow, they mean something.
Yeah.
I also think if they get along with your friends and then eventually to your parents, at least for me, if I were to bring a boyfriend to you guys and you guys get along, I feel like you guys could also tell if they're my ideal type or if they're compatible with me or not.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty important is like bringing them to people that you're close to because sometimes you can definitely be blindsided in a relationship, but then those around you can tell better sometimes.
Next one is, when is it okay to ask, what are we?
I feel like my time frame is 3 months of consistent talking.
I think mine's more like if you guys can tell you're pretty much mutually exclusive to each other.
I agree with
But what if
Sharon.
you're just like not exclusive, but you guys talk a lot?
Exactly. So like they
Because
could
like
be
some
talking to
people,
other
they're
people.
just like, yeah, but then you're also talking. I feel like that's a good time to be like, so what are you doing?
I don't know. I feel like for me, just based on past experiences, I'm just able to tell when we talked a lot or when we progress to a stage where it's just kind of known that like we are probably the only people we're talking to. And then I feel like when it gets there, perhaps that's when
Yeah.
you could bring it up. Maybe not the exact questions of like, what are we? But something along the lines of that.
See, I've never had to ask that.
I feel like I never had to ask exactly what are we either. Sharon's like, yeah.
It's because you dated an idiot, low-key.
Yeah, I asked the what are we and the response that I got wasn't what I was expecting it to be. So
Not gonna lie, I feel like when you have to ask what are we, almost always the response is probably not gonna be what you want it to be. Because I feel like if it's mutually you understand each other and stuff, you don't really have to ask.
Because there's like a natural progression.
maybe, yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
You could just tell, oh, we're exclusive to each other and like we like each other. Let's date officially. Damn, we dating experts out here.
I think it's going better than I thought.
Yeah. Coming from 3 people who have very bland dating experiences.
Next question. Do you believe in soulmate stuff? Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Damn, Jam. That was. I don't think that's a sure.
Yeah.
Wait,
Why the hesitance?
because I'm like, what the fuck does a soulmate mean?
Like
you're
your
meant
person
to, like,
for
love
life.
of your life.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you say you believe there is a soulmate, but you might not necessarily be with them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do you believe in seeing a couple and be like, they're soulmates?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they're meant to be with each
Okay,
other.
yeah. I was just tripped up.
You good, bro? Yeah, we've said this in a previous episode, but I'll say it again. We all believe in soulmates. It's just we don't know that you will ever actually meet them
Yeah. Love of your life versus love
for
of
your life.
For your life. That episode.
Yeah.
The next question is dating all it's hyped up to be?
I feel like dating is what you make of it.
I also feel like you would be disappointed many times, but if it's potentially with the right person or closer to that person, it will live up to the hype.
Yeah. I think this person is asking in the sense that they see only the good sides of relationships on social media or with celebrities and stuff. And so, in terms of that, dating is not like that. It'd be rough sometimes. But at the end of the day, like even after the rough times, it's worth it because you're with someone that you care about so much. So, no and yes.
Yes. I hate breakups, so I don't date. Help. But how do you know that you hate breakups if you've never dated?
Oh, that's a good question.
She just reverse Uno on you.
Right?
Did they say, I hate breakups, I don't date, or I never dated?
I hate breakups, so I don't date. Oh, so does that mean she or he
Yeah.
has been in a breakup, so therefore they don't date anymore?
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know, fam. That's tough. You gotta go through the breakups to learn.
Yeah.
So,
Each and every breakup will help you, like will shape you and get you closer
Yeah.
to figuring out what it is that you want.
if you want actual advice, don't make the relationship your identity. That way, breakups won't hurt as much because you still have something else to fall back on.
Yourself.
Yep, yourself. Next question. How do you find a date? I don't know. If you know, let me know.
All of us know.
Yeah. We're figuring that one out too.
I would just gonna
Maybe
say be
online
open to
dating?
online dating. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's also because I know I was there too of like, oh, I want to meet someone organically or naturally. And as much as I agree to that and ideally want that, in this day and age, it's kind of hard. So you have to be open to the idea of putting yourself out there. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. By dating apps, we're not like Tinder and stuff. Like you could go on more serious ones like Coffee Meet Bagel or like
I like Hinge.
Hint's a really good one, Bumble, and like taking it seriously.
What's a good way to approach someone you don't know in real life and on social media?
Well, on social media, I just shoot my shot, honestly, because I just go in thinking this person doesn't know me. And even if it fails, at the end of the day, it's fine. And even now, we laugh about it, about all the times I shot my shot. And then
True.
in person, I don't think I ever approached someone, but I think it's just really confidence. If you're super confident in yourself and just getting over the mentality that he or she is gonna think of you a certain way or whatever, if you just get over your own barrier, then you can do it in person.
Yeah. What are some red flags and green flags in a relationship? What are some red flags? Let's start there.
If your friends don't like them,
Oh, that's a very good one.
Or if you don't like their friends.
mhm.
Oh, I'm speaking from personal experience over there, Sharon.
Yep.
If they make you doubt the relationship and don't give you like any explanations when you try to talk about it, because I know in the beginning, you don't know each other, so you have doubts. But if your SO isn't going to sit down with you or like talk about it and kind of figure out like, oh, what's causing it, then I think that's a red flag. Like communication.
If you're constantly questioning everything and nothing is answered, that's a big red flag.
Green flags.
If they're ambitious.
Oh, having good ambition in life. If they have a life outside of you.
You never run out of topics.
Or like you could just sit in comfortable silence if you do.
Mm-hmm. What do I do when I catch feelings for the guy I rejected, but he's moved on?
You snooze, you lose. I'm just kidding.
Early bird gets the worm.
No. I feel like if he's moved on, there's a chance that it could come back and you could talk to him about it. But if he's with somebody, then that's really you snooze, you lose. I'm sorry. He's cuffed.
If not cuffed, shoot your shot. Nothing to lose.
Yeah, there's no harm in it.
We can answer this together. How do you act on a first date? But also, I get stressed when I have to go on a date. Any advice?
I think it's okay to be nervous, but don't be stressed because your first date should be fun. If you agree to a first date, it means you want to get to know this person more and perhaps want something out of it. So don't be stressed.
Take a shot.
Honestly, that helps. And I think one thing is just have a few questions in mind of what you want to ask so you don't feel like if the conversation dies, like, oh, shoot, what do we talk about? Yeah.
I was going to say two things. One, don't come up with perfect answers that aren't you. If things happen, you want them to be honest, you should be honest. And if you guys end up not liking each other, that's better than them liking a non-real version of you. Second, go on a more open date. Not so intimate where it's like quiet in the restaurant, for example. Go to arcade or go to a bustin' restaurant and bar kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're a more introvert person and you might be scared of what we're going to talk about if we're sitting down in a restaurant, then plan an activity because you guys could, do an activity together and then, some topics might come out from that and you're just not so focused on their conversation itself.
Yep. Jam's a big believer of amusement parks.
Yes. Or honestly, a movie, I know it's like you don't really get to know each other, but when you're watching a movie, afterwards you could talk about the movie.
Oh.
Or you can get a sense of their humor if they don't laugh when you laugh. Bye. Just kidding. What's your opinion on the phrase, don't date someone you wouldn't marry?
Totally disagree. I feel like don't get into a relationship with someone you don't want to marry, at least from now. Not before, but now. But I think you should be open to dating. And it's fine if you want to date someone who you don't think you're going to marry, but you just want for the experience.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it takes dating someone to know if you want to marry them. So don't cut ties before you even try.
I think it also depends on what stage in your life you are. Like if you're 27 and you think you're running out of time, maybe don't pursue things that you know for a fact won't happen. But if you're like younger and you're figuring it out, you figure it out through dating.
I'm telling you, Sharon's probably the best dating coach amongst us three. I go to her for a lot of dating advice.
But would I follow my own advice is the question.
It's okay. Coaches coach.
Exactly.
They don't play.
But she needs to play. And coaches played at one point before we became coaches.
I'm going backwards here. I'm
You're
coaching, then I'll play. Do you think a person needs to be 100% healed before starting a new relationship?
I don't think so. I feel like you can heal yourself while being in a relationship. Just don't be reliant on a relationship to heal you. Like if you're like 80% there and you're very aware of your issues, communicate that with your partner. That doesn't mean you shouldn't date. Some people find healing through dating because people get together to grow together. So
I agree.
what's your opinion on dating multiple people at once?
Okay, see, to me, dating, when we get to that point, it means that I'm mutually exclusive with you. So I am not okay with that. But can I talk to multiple people at once? Yes.
Actually, that's a tricky part. Do you make it known that you're like talking to multiple people when you're dating around?
Yeah, like have you ever had somebody who thought that you guys were mutually exclusive, but to you, you were still trying to figure it out?
Maybe they had a thought, but it was never brought up to me. But again, they might have seen it dating, but I didn't see it as dating. So there might be misalignment in that.
I feel like this is where EQ kicks in. If you feel like they're very invested into you, then you should make it known that like, oh, I'm dating multiple people and like not really serious. But if you feel like they're still on the same page as you, then you do you, boo.
I feel like maybe it also comes up because at least for online dating, some people are really honest, like, oh, what are you looking for? And at least for me, I feel I appreciate that honesty.
Have you had someone ask you that?
I feel like I have been asked that before. Like, what are you looking
Oh.
for? When I was on Hinge.
And what do you say?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm just really honest. Like, oh, I'm just on here to, I don't know, get to know someone, to meet people, and just see where things go. Like, just go with the flow. I think it's just better to go into it with a very open mind and don't set expectations or necessarily goals and just go with the flow. But that's also just my personality. I don't like to set things in stone so early on. And it just makes it easier on yourself, less pressure.
Yeah.
Just don't be mutually exclusive to multiple people. That's
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah, that's not okay. How to be happy being single when you don't have a SO?
You find friends who are basically your SOs. That's a worst piece of advice, but it's also the best piece of advice.
Sharon made the fattest what the fuck face.
Dude, find a hobby.
Yeah, I was supposed to say that.
Find something fun you like doing on your own and just being comfortable with being by yourself because that shit is fun, man. Like, read a book.
Working on a passion project. I think there's always room to improve yourself. And in the process of improving yourself, you feel happier because of the things you achieve. And in these things, you might meet new people throughout it because you're pursuing a new opportunity.
Yeah. I don't even feel single. I feel like I'm dating 5 jobs.
I feel single. I didn't say I didn't feel single.
Yeah, I feel like Jam's the most willing to date or like trying to date, but the circumstances just don't allow it.
Somebody hit her up, please.
Don't hit me up. I think I have a point. It's not that I don't try. Like, I am on Hinge, but people on there just don't captivate me the way maybe I used to. Maybe it's because I've grown more and I know more of what I want. So if I kind of sense that maybe you're not that person, I don't give it as much of a chance, which is, I guess, a bad thing because you have to know the person more first. But yeah, it just doesn't captivate me the way it did before.
But also, to be fair, Jam has had very good conversations on dating apps. Like, when she would ask us how to reply to stuff, I'd be very surprised at how interesting or witty some of the guys were.
True.
I love witty guys, but I don't know if witty people just move out of the Bay Area or what. But none of the guys I've talked to have been witty. I don't know what happened.
It'd be rough.
So this was our episode on dating, a little bit about dating history and some quote-unquote advice from the questions that you guys asked us. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
Okay, and again, so physical. I also think if they get along with your friends,